Ultraman, one of the greatest tokusatsu superheroes of all time, an alien hero from the Land of Light in Nebula M78, and arrived on Earth after chasing Bemular. Ultraman has been fighting kaijus and kaijin for 60 years and will continue to protect us from anything that harms the planet. And in this video, I'll be doing something for the late 60th anniversary of Ultraman. About 11 months ago, I made Godzilla vs. Zeton, where rather than pinning Godzilla and Ultraman to fight, instead I made Godzilla fight Ultraman's final opponent, Zeton. And in this video, Ultraman will fight Godzilla's final opponent from the Showa era, Mechagodzilla, one of the top 5 kaijus, as well as being known to be the strongest opponent Godzilla has ever faced. In this video, I, along with a good friend of mine, aka my co-host Tokusatsu Universe Official, will cover Ultraman and Mechagodzilla separate, but in the same categories, in the first and last part of the video. But before we get into it, make sure to go subscribe to Tokusatsu Universe, and check out his channel, as he covers a lot of tokusatsu related topics. Anyways, without further ado, let's get into the battle. Let's start off with strength. In terms of strength, Ultraman has consistently lifted and thrown kaiju well above his own weight. Well, almost. However, one of the best examples of this is when he lifted and tossed Tesladon, who weighed over a eye-watering 120,000 tons, more than 3 times his own mass at 35,000 tons. For his striking strength, Ultraman's punches are said to carry the force of 50 charging elephants. He broke off one of Alien Bolton's claws, a Saiyan that survived nuclear weapons destroying his entire planet made by a mad scientist, as well as shattering Neuranga's energy-charged horn with a single knee strike, a horn that can fire powerful bolts of electricity to level cities and weaker opponents. In combat, he's capable of tearing off limbs with ease, or delivering lethal blows quickly and efficiently. Up next is speed. His top flying speed reaches to Mach 5, while his running speed clocks in at 450 kilometers per hour. So overall, his speed is pretty useful with his agility. Then we have IQ and battle IQ. Ultraman is fairly intelligent, being able to outsmart many of his enemies, alongside his hand-to-hand combat, targeting weak points and pressure areas with precision. Ultraman can also problem solve, finding solutions to complex issues. Moving on, we have agility. When it comes to locomotion, Ultraman is very agile, having the ability to perform complex movements and reacting quickly. He's able to dodge and get back on his feet in an instant. Sometimes his agility could overwhelm his opponents. Next is durability. Ultraman's durability seems to be immune to every energy projectile or explosions, as well as resisting heat, atomic bomb explosions, and even electricity. Notable examples are Neuranga's electricity, Alien Mephilos' electricity, and even Aberrus's acidic foam, a stream of acid that melted vanilla in seconds. But then we have abilities, and oh boy, does he have a lot of them. So let's cover them. Now I know the Ultraman wiki shows Ultraman with way more powers and attacks, but I'm only listing the ones on his show. Anyways, let's hop right in. His first wave of 5 abilities are defense capability, immune to any strong attack, though it depleted his color timer. Ultra willpower, a telekinetic power that can control objects and beings, capable of throwing enemies just by using his mind. Teleportation, despite taking up a lot of his energy, Ultraman can teleport to a different location. Size change, able to change from human size to giant. Travel sphere, Ultraman can encase himself in a red energy sphere for long distances to travel in space. Flight, Ultraman is able to fly by emitting anti-gravity waves from his feet and travel at Mach 5. Now let's cover his special attacks. First is his most iconic, his Spacium Beam. Ultraman's finisher attack, a powerful beam that can blow up a kaiju in one shot, releasing a heat of 500 degrees Celsius, which in Fahrenheit is 900,032 degrees, as well as having a destructive power of 500,000 horsepower according to the wiki. Ultra Slash, a buzzsaw-like energy disc in his hand and can toss it at foes, slicing through kaijus with ease. He can also separate it into 2 saws in mid-air, or he can fire 2 from his hand at once, and can do a homing attack on a foe. Next is his Ultra Attack Beam, a spiral energy beam shot from his hand, forming a wave of green energy rings. After hitting the foe, Ultraman can cross his arms to time an explosion. Slash Beam, a power that can fire a stream of arrow-shaped beams from his hand when he places his other hand above it. It can also have explosive effects. Then we have his physical attacks. Mid-air tackle, ramming opponents with his body in mid-air. Ultra Chop, Ultraman tends to use this basic chop to daze or stun enemies. Ultra Haze Slash, this technique is a variation of Ultra Chop when Ultraman slices or punches the opponent as he passes. Ultra Punch, a punch skill to assess the weakness of the enemy, said to have the power of 50 charging elephants once again. Nosedive kick, a double kick from high altitudes that hits the enemy from behind, usually. Rotation choking kick, Ultraman strangles the opponent with his feet, similar to a wrestling move. Ultra swing, capable of grabbing the opponent and throwing them. He used this move with almost every kaiju he's fought, mind you, almost. Dropped rock, he lifts the opponent into the air and slams them into the ground, the same move he made on Tesladon. Flying mare, once again grabs the opponent by the neck and throws them over the back. Comma throw, when faced with a charging opponent, Ultraman grabs them, falls on his back, and uses the opponent's momentum and his legs to flip them over. Neck hanging, a technique where Ultraman holds the opponent once again by the neck while lifting them in the air. When his foe is weakened, he throws them. And finally, headlock. Ultraman headlocks his opponent to seal their movements. Don't worry, we're almost done. Now for his extra abilities. Ultra Barrier. Ultraman draws a rectangular shield in the air which is energized by his fingers to deflect or reflect any type of attack. Ultra Air Catch. Ultraman extends his arms directly in front of him and fires a white laser from both his hands. He then moves one of his arms to a 90-degree angle, suspending the target in the air. Fluoroscope Beam. Ultraman can emit beams of light from his eyes that will make invisible objects or monsters visible. It can also allow him to see through objects or beings. Ultra Discernment. Beams from Ultraman's eyes used to remove energy barriers of most foes, used on Alien Baltan II. Catch Rings. Ultraman can spin around so fast that he creates energy rings, used to capture or ensnare foes. Ultra Water Current. Ultraman can emit streams of water from his right hand when he places his other hand above it. In a similar fashion to a slash beam, this can either be used as a method to put out fires or as an attack. High Spin. Ultraman spins around very quickly. This ability can ward off spatial distortion effects such as those used by Bolton. And those are all the abilities. Oh, those just took forever. Please like and subscribe just for that. Anyways, but now for a bonus, I'll be adding 2 new categories for this video, and that is stamina and weaknesses. And don't worry, this will also apply to Mechagodzilla as well. So, first is stamina. Ultraman may be strong, but how long can he last on the battlefield? Let's find out. Despite being very agile when fighting his opponents, his energy is limited due to the Earth's atmosphere. This means an Ultra can only stay on Earth for approximately 3 minutes, once his color timer is blinking, indicating that their energy is low. Finally, we have weaknesses. Ultraman gets extremely weak when he's losing his power or using up all his energy, and once again he can only fight for 3 minutes due to the Earth's atmosphere, limiting his energy. And so, with that out of the way, my co-host will now cover Showa Mechagodzilla. Take it away.
Now let's take a look at Showa Mechagodzilla. Mechagodzilla stands at 50 meters tall and weighs 40,000 metric tons. Built by the Black Hole Planet 3 aliens, this kaiju was engineered purely for destruction, and it shows in every part of its design. In raw strength, Mechagodzilla is built to dominate. He overpowered Anguirus while disguised as Godzilla, punching him hard enough to send him crashing into a bridge, then grabbing his tail and slamming him repeatedly. Anguirus is about 30,000 tons, and Mechagodzilla ended the fight by breaking Anguirus's jaw. He also physically overmatched King Caesar, kicking him into a mountainside. Those feats show Mechagodzilla can apply massive kinetic force, tear through defenses, and deliver crushing strikes that not only injure, but alter the battlefield. On speed, Mechagodzilla is a mixed bag. His ground locomotion and close quarters movement are relatively limited compared to organic kaiju, but his flight capability is impressive. Jet boosters in his feet let him reach speeds up to Mach 5. That aerial speed, combined with the ability to fire weapons while flying, makes him a deadly hit and control platform. IQ and battle IQ. When controlled by the Black Hole Planet 3 aliens, Mechagodzilla displays high intelligence and solid battle IQ. He coordinates multi-target attacks, shifts tactics mid-fight, and uses deception. Remember, he fought disguised as Godzilla to gain an advantage. In the King Caesar fight, he baited a beam reflection and immediately followed up with missile salvos from a different vector. That level of tactical flexibility, feinting, baiting, and chaining weapons shows he's more than just a blunt instrument. Agility. Agility-wise, Mechagodzilla is decent for a giant robot. He's able to dodge and react to projectile attacks. There are moments where he narrowly avoids reflected beams, but he's not as nimble in close hand-to-hand brawls as a biological fighter. His design favors ranged control and turret-style responses, 360-degree head rotation, instant beam targeting, over fast footwork or rapid grappling. Durability. Durability-wise, his body is covered in space titanium, an alien alloy said to be 10 times stronger than regular steel. He's taken direct hits from Godzilla's atomic breath and continued fighting. And when needed, he can activate a unique defense system by spinning his head 360 degrees while firing beams, creating a barrier strong enough to block both energy and physical attacks. Mechagodzilla's weapon systems are extensive. His primary attack is the space beam, an optical laser that fires from his eyes. It's powerful enough to clash with Godzilla's atomic breath in a beam lock. He also has finger missiles that constantly reload, allowing continuous fire. Some of these can even embed into an opponent's body before detonating. Additional weapons include the Homyu shot, missiles fired from his knees that dig into enemies before exploding, and high-pressure homing missiles that are more effective when spinning. He also has mouth missiles, though these are rarely used. On his chest is a hidden panel that opens to fire the cross-attack beam, a powerful electromagnetic laser strong enough to cut through solid rock. And when airborne, he can still use most of these weapons while flying at high speed, thanks to the adjustable angle of his head. Mechagodzilla also features a radar system that lets him detect enemies underwater or underground, and a communication antenna to receive commands from his alien creators. In battle, he can rotate his head a full 360 degrees, giving him full range of fire even if an enemy tries to flank him. Unlike most kaiju, Mechagodzilla has unlimited stamina. He doesn't get tired. He can keep fighting until he's either critically damaged or forced to retreat. But he does have a major weakness: the Cyberneck, a control device located on the sides of his head. If it's damaged, Mechagodzilla can be disabled. That's what happened in his first battle with Godzilla, where a beam clash caused an explosion that took out the Cyberneck and forced Mechagodzilla to retreat. In a later battle, Godzilla finished him by ripping his head off completely. Still, with his arsenal of weapons, advanced targeting, and heavily armored body, Showa Mechagodzilla is a near-perfect machine of destruction, built to take on Earth's strongest defenders.
With all the points added up, who wins this battle of the ages? This match came pretty close with a score of 5-3, as Ultraman chops with strength, IQ and battle IQ, agility, and abilities, while Mechagodzilla scores durability and stamina, but both are tied at speed, flying speed mind you. I can declare that our winner is Ultraman. Now how is this possible, you might ask? Well, in this case, agility and abilities are going to be highly relied on by Ultraman, and possibly even strength. However, what Ultraman has to really look out for is Mechagodzilla's ranged weapons and durability, given that his body is said to be 10 times stronger than steel. However, I feel like Ultraman could possibly overwhelm Mechagodzilla with his hand-to-hand combat, but that doesn't mean Mechagodzilla isn't dangerous when up close, despite his limited locomotion. Finally, after a month and a half, I'm finished with this video. If you guys enjoyed, make sure to like and subscribe. And once again, shout out to Tokusatsu Universe Official for this collab. Be sure to check his channel out, link in the description, and let me know who you think would have won this fight. Anyways, I'm your ghost with the most, and have a wonderful day.